Now that we've got our lashes on and all our eyes are done, we are moving on to the next step, which is my favourite, and it's the base. So what we're going for here is skin that looks like your skin, just a little bit better. If you watch the skincare module before this one, you'll know that I've already prepped my skin this morning. So I've already put all my skincare routine on. That's why you didn't see me put anything on just before I did my eyes. If I hadn't done my skincare this morning and I wasn't getting ready so quick, what I would have done is take my toner that we talked about earlier, and I would have used this to take away any dead cells that were left on the skin or any like grime and bits of dirt from the day. I then would have taken my moisturiser, either a thin Embryolisse or my Tatcha, depending on how bougie I was feeling that day, along with an eye cream. So literally all these 7, 8, 9 step skincare things you see to do before you put your makeup on, don't do them. Use a toner to take off any residue from the day. Use an eye cream to put under your eye to hydrate the area, and use a moisturiser to just oomph up that skin. You want to do that before you put your eye makeup on, so that by the time you come to do your base, it's all soaked in and your skin is exactly like mine and good to go. So let's talk base. So I separate my brushes into a few different pots, and you do not need this many at all. One of the brushes I would highly recommend is this. It's a PC21 brush, and as you can see, it has a lovely angle to it. You can use this for foundation, for contour, for blush, for whatever you want when it comes to your cream products. It is a hero brush, in my opinion. So the first thing we're going to do before we start to use that brush is apply a little bit of this. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. If you don't have this, you don't really need. There's arguments say you need primers, there's arguments say you don't. It's personal preference. The reason I like to use a primer like the Milk Hydro Grip is because it does exactly that. It hydrates your skin and adds that little, do you see, grip to your skin. You don't need much. Half a pump is more than enough, and focus it in the areas where you know you're going to be applying a little bit more product, and it will just add that little bit of tackiness and just help the skin and the makeup blend together a little bit better. Next, I like a glowy skin. But I don't like it everywhere. I like it to look like my skin is glowing, not that I've put something on it. So already my base, because of the skin prep that we did earlier, is looking lovely and youthful. I'm 32. So glowy and youthful is sort of what I'm going for these days. I don't like heavy, cakey makeup anymore. And that glow from within can come from this product. This is a Forever Glow Star Filter from Dior. And what this does is it helps my skin look super radiant without being heavy. So the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter is also a lovely product, but you'll notice it gives you that little bit of coverage, which is great. This is much thinner. So this won't give you any coverage. It will slightly blur, but this is more for that little bit of colour and that little bit of glow. Well, I'll say a little bit of glow, you'll see in a second. So I'm just going to take a tiny half pump onto my hand again, because we want that product to be nicely warmed up. I'm going to take my PC21 brush. I'm just going to tap that brush around in that product so it's distributed evenly on the bristles. And we're going to aim for the points of the face that we would want to bring forward. So anywhere, if you think on holiday, like anywhere the light would naturally catch you, that's where we want to be placing this. So it's not about putting it everywhere. It's about being tactful with where we place these types of products. And that's the difference between getting it to look like your skin is glowing versus getting it to look like you put something glowing on your skin, if that makes sense. So for me, it's above my eyebrow, and I swoop around in a C motion to come down my cheekbone, on my chin, and then I mirror it on the other side. Next up is foundation. As you might have noticed, we have a free bonus within this course, and it is the Foundation Finder. So within that, it will help you learn about your skin type, what it is that you're looking for, what will work for you, not against you, and the different types of finishes that are available. So these are two of the products that you will see in that foundation guide. These are suitable for almost all skin types. This will need a little bit. So this is a Giorgio Armani. If you have dry skin, as long as you prep like we have, you'll be absolutely fine. You might just need to take a little spray with you through the day. And if you are oily, you might just need to take a little bit of powder, pressed powder with you through the day, but that's true for most foundations. So we're gonna try these two today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my hand again. And I know I keep doing this, but it's for exactly the same reason. I'm just gonna take a tiny bit on here and a tiny bit of this. And again, with your hand being nice and warm, especially the palm of your hand, you are one, able to curve it like this so it doesn't spill everywhere, and two, it gets the product lovely and warmed up. Okay, so we're all loaded up. I've done exactly the same thing, taken it on the palm of my hand and just dabbed my brush around to evenly distribute it around the bristles. If you apply it directly to your skin in like lines, what you're going to find is that as you put your brush on your face, it's going to really soak into that brush in the place that you first stamp on it with, if that makes sense. We don't want that. We want an even distribution, we want an even layering, and you're not going to get that when you apply it direct to your skin, unfortunately. I'm going to start with the brush, and I'm going to start at the bottom of our jawline, and we're just going to tap this product into the skin. Working my way up, and what you'll notice is the areas that I'm going to keep free. So I'm only going to work up to about here. So all of this little triangle here, I'm going to keep relatively free of product. Now, the reason for that is the skin that you'll find in that area is really fine. It's really thin, and we don't want to add any extra weight, especially if you're like me and you're getting a little bit older. You have to be cautious of those fine lines. You just do. So the more product you apply in that area, the more weight you're putting in there. So it's one, going to drag the skin down, and two, going to give more product than necessary to really sit in those lines. So we're just going to avoid that. But what we are going to do, and the place we are not going to avoid, is our neck. So once you've worked upwards, you are going to work down and just follow that jawline and just drag that product down just slightly. Now, if I'm going out, I would bring this all the way down. But for the purpose of today, we're just going to blend that out.